Hey, thanks for checking out my YouTube video. My name is Luke. Today is Sunday, April 16th, 2023. It's been 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks, something like that, since my last video. My type 1 diabetes is doing really good. I got a new pump, just put that on this morning. And yeah, blood sugar is currently 106. I'll hit the gym here when I'm done with this video. So last week it was like in the 80s here in Iowa. I love the 80s. I love warm weather. And then it got really cold this weekend, so my heat is back on in the house. And I'm no longer wearing shorts outside. I'm wearing a winter coat. And a little snow came down today, so didn't stick, but it was coming down. So yeah, type 1 diabetes is doing good. Have upcoming cataract surgery on both eyes. So May 5th, I'm getting the left eye, the cataract removed. And then 2 weeks after that, on May 19th, I'm getting the right eye operated on. So I feel really good about that. I've been living with them for 25 years, and it's time to get them taken out. My vision's blurry, so I have to wear glasses in order to see good. And once I get the cataracts removed, shouldn't need any of that business. So I'm kind of excited for that. What else? Oh, I volunteered last night at the Performing Arts Center over in Red Oak, the Wilson Performing Arts Center. Absolutely love that place. Elvis came to town. His name is, what is it? Is it Jonathan Hall? He was on America's Got Talent like maybe 10 or 15 years ago. He's out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Really good Elvis performer. So I worked that show, met some nice folks, had some good conversation, and I'm going to be auditioning for the upcoming play. It's called Crazy for You. So tomorrow at 6:30, I'll be over there, and who knows? Might have a little small part in it. So I'm kind of excited for that. What else? Yeah, last week put some miles on the motorcycle. Life was good. Today we're wearing winter coats. Welcome to the Midwest. But I want to talk about a band. So the record that I'm going to talk about, it was released in 1995, 2 days before my birthday on August 22nd. It is called Rancid, and Out Come the Wolves. So if you see, I got the poster that came with this 20th anniversary edition record. So I threw that up on the wall just for fun. But I saw these guys for the first time when I was 19. It was April of 1996. And so Rancid, originally, they were going to play at the Ranch Bowl, which is now a Walmart. So Ranch Bowl no longer exists. But I saw a lot of concerts there in Omaha. And so originally Rancid was going to play there. And the Ranch Bowl only held about maybe 500 people. It was small little kind of bowling alley with a little bar area. And that sold out really quick. Like within minutes, 500 tickets were sold out. This was back in 1996, so you couldn't buy them online. You had to go to Ticketmaster, like at the little outlets, and order them. So that was a pretty big feat. So they thought, well, this sold out so quickly, let's move it to Lincoln, Nebraska, to the, I think it was called the Garden Grove, the Grove, something like that. Never been to that venue. That also sold out really fast. So then they moved it back to Omaha, and at the music hall. So that is now tore down also. But the music hall used to be part of the Civic Auditorium, and it was seated. So old school theater, had the swivel seats, with the big foam cushioning, and a punk band should not have been playing there. So I'll get to that. So Rancid came to town. Like I said, I was 19. First time for me ever going to a punk rock show. This guy right here, that's Lars Fredriksson. He is the guitarist and one of the singers in the band Rancid. Really cool guy. Typically has a mohawk. They've added a lot more tattoos since 96. I believe he's got like a Batman on his throat or something. So Lars Fredriksson is a guitarist, shares vocal duties. You also have Tim Armstrong, who I really like Tim. He's a guitarist, lefty. And he sings also. I really like Tim's voice. Then you have Matt Freeman. He's a bass player. Matt has some awesome bass solos on this record. And then Brett Reed was the drummer. And so anyway, back to that show in Omaha. Like I said, it was a seated venue, and a lot of youth had showed up. I was 19 and I felt old. It was an all ages show, so there was a lot of like 14, 15, 16-year-old kids there, kind of dressed in punk rock, mohawks, colored hair. I remember a kid had like a dog leash around his neck. It was just fun. It was like interesting for me. I'd never been to a punk show, and I remember it like it was yesterday. So the opening act, there are actually two. And the first one was a band called The Gadgets, and they are out of Kansas City. And they were kind of like Hanson, so I don't know if you remember Hanson, like the brothers. They had the song Mbop. And so they were kind of the Hanson brothers of punk rock. And they were pretty good. They played, I don't know, 7 or 8 songs. I kind of enjoyed them. I don't know where they're at. I don't even know if they're playing anymore. But so it was The Gadgets. And then the next band that played before Rancid that night was Rocket from the Crypt. You may have heard of them. I know Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters used to be a huge follower of Rocket from the Crypt. There's a song called On a Rope. If you've not heard that one, it's cool. It's a good rock song. So I remember On the Crypt, they kind of had like a small horn section, and they're kind of just like old school 60s rock, maybe just a small titch of punk in there. And I think their lead singer, so he kind of looks like Elvis. They all came out in matching suits. He was a true entertainer. I think he goes by the name of Speedo. But Rocket from the Crypt was really good. They were warming up the crowd. Like I said, kind of old school 60s rock and roll style. And then Rancid came out, and the crowd went crazy. Security was trying to contain. It was a little bit of chaotic there. And if I remember right, so here's the songs: Maxwell Murder, The 11th Hour, and then Roots Radical. So I think they played the first 3 songs in that order. And by the time the third song, Roots Radicals, if you've not heard that, it's an awesome song. Things got out of hand, and security was like, they were attacking kids on the front row. I saw punches being thrown. There was a kid that had like the nose pierced in the center. That got ripped out. Blood was everywhere all over him. Tim Armstrong was yelling at security, telling them to get their hands off the kids. They wouldn't. The band stopped playing, put their instruments down. Tim Armstrong actually leapt into the crowd and was on top of a security guy trying to. This is the only time I've ever seen a band leave the stage, and they were totally on the fan side. And my heart was kind of racing because I was like, what the heck's going on here? I've never seen this. I thought it was like a movie script or something. But so Tim Armstrong was wearing a black stocking hat, I remember, and he had Oakley sunglasses. And back then, the popular Oakleys were called straight jackets. So they were kind of like a rounded kind of really cool sunglass. So he was wearing a black stocking hat, had silver Oakleys, and he jumped out, lost his Oakleys, and it was probably 5 minutes of just kind of chaos. The supporting, kind of like the crew members, they were all out, and security was still kind of thumping on the young kids. And so Rancid left the stage, and I thought, oh my God, the show's over. 3 songs into it, and they're done. Well, maybe 10 minutes of just kind of not knowing if the show was going to continue. Lars Fredriksson, like I said, the guy that's on the front here, he came out with just his guitar, got right in front of the PA, and there was a lot of distortion, and you could tell he was angry. Back was against the crowd, everyone, and he just started wailing. And so it was, I thought, gosh, is this guy gonna sing? He turned around, and then he sang the song "The War's End." That's a good punk song. It talks about Little Sammy, the punk rocker. And once he got through that song, the rest of the band came out, and they just put on a phenomenal show. So I want to talk about some songs on this one. So this album has sold 1 million copies. That's pretty crucial for a punk rock band out of the East Bay, out in Berkeley, California. I think that's where this was recorded, was Berkeley. So I think they claim Oakland, East Oakland maybe, as home. And then this record, so it was recorded in 2 spots, Berkeley, California, and New York. And like I said, sold 1 million copies. Not too shabby for a punk band. And this record is very special for me. I've seen Rancid, like I said, there at the music hall there in Omaha, Nebraska, where the riot broke out. And then they finished a really, really solid set list that night. Then I saw them at Lollapalooza that summer of '96. So saw them in Des Moines, Iowa at the fairgrounds. And obviously I was there for Rancid, but there was another punk band called the Ramones. And you probably heard of them. They're pretty popular. A couple of them are dead now. So if you didn't see the Ramones, you're kind of out of luck to see the originals. But some of the Ramones that day, Metallica, who else was there? Screaming Trees, they were really good. Soundgarden, the one and only time I ever saw Chris Cornell. And yeah, it was a good day of music. But Rancid played that day. And then I've seen Rancid 2 or 3 other times since. I think I saw them over in Council Bluffs at an outdoor festival. Saw them at Sokol Hall. That was fun. And then I saw them down in Kansas City at the Uptown Theater. And I got good memories of all those shows. But that first one was very special. And they played a ton of songs on And Out Come the Wolves. And so anyway, the album starts out with Maxwell Murder. Great bass opening. Matt Freeman, like I said, skilled bass player. And Maxwell Murder is a great, great opening song. Goes into the 11th hour. Then Roots Radicals, which is always going to be special to me because that's when the riot broke out in Omaha. And then the 4th song is Time Bomb. So Time Bomb is a good ska-punk song. You're going to hear some Hammond organ. So if you're a fan of the Hammond organ, that really couples well with any type of ska music. So ska's kind of originated down in Jamaica. It's got this kind of, like a pogo stick kind of beat, just like, I don't even know how to describe it. If you know ska music, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, give Time Bomb a listen. Goes into Olympia, Washington, another great song. Lock, Step, and Gone. Junkie Man, which is a song about a guy shooting junk, aka heroin. And there's some spoken part during Junkie Man. And that's where they talk about Now Come the Wolves, the title of this record. So I really like Junkie Man. Listed MIA. It's kind of about just kind of escaping and going missing in action. Really like that one. Ruby Soho, very, very special song. Got a lot of airplay back on MTV. And that's kind of a tragic little love song for a punk song. You kind of feel sorry for Ruby. And it's told from like a point of view of a guy living in an apartment, and he can hear this couple arguing through the walls. And so Ruby Soho, very catchy song, and you got to listen to it. Very, very cool song. Then it finishes up with Daily City Train. Really enjoy that one. Side 2, and I should show you this record. It's the 20th anniversary. So I bought this years ago, obviously. But how cool is that? Gold. Gold. You gotta love a gold record. But yeah, this was, so I bought this one. So it got released in 2015. I know I probably bought it in 16. But anyway, it includes that little cool poster back there. Had a download card, 180 gram vinyl on the cool gold pressing. And I'm really glad I have it. So it's hard to believe now. So in just 2 years, this is going to be 30 years old. How does time get away that quickly? I don't know. It just does. So it's soon to be 30 years old. Oh my gosh, I'm old. So side 2 starts out with Journey to the End of the East Bay. Like I said, these guys are from that area. In fact, Tim Armstrong and Matt Freeman, they were on the same youth Little League baseball team. So it's kind of cool that they ended up being bandmates and one of the best punk bands ever to exist. Journey to the End of the East Bay, love that tune. Opens up side 2 perfectly. And that's a great song about their little hometown. I love it. She's Automatic, another love song, very, very punk rockish, very quick lyric flow, and I love She's Automatic. You gotta love a woman that's automatic, cutie patootie. And then it goes into Old Friend, I really like Old Friends. So Old Friends kind of got that ska beat. Love the lyrics on that one. And you got to give Old Friend a listen. Goes into Disorder and Disarray. The War's End, I talked about that earlier. That's the one that after the riot ensued, Lars came out and played that. So I always remember that one. You Don't Care Nothing, as Wicked. And then the last two songs are Avenues and Alleyways and The Way I Feel. So Avenues and Alleyways is a song about racism. So you got to remember, this album was released in 1995. So 28 years ago, obviously there's still racism, you know, there's no way around it. But I just love Avenues and Alleyways. Like how they talk about, you know, you can be different skin colors, but, you know, we're all the same brothers and we're all in this together. And really like Avenues and Alleyways. So if you want to listen to it, the songs I recommend are the Ska-punk with that Hammond organ influence. So that's going to be Time Bomb, Ruby Soho you got to give listen to. Old Friend is awesome. And then, of course, like I said, Avenues and Alleyways, terrific lyrically. I would give Olympia Washington a listen. Roots Radicals, that's an awesome punk song. So I wanted to talk about some old punk rock. And, also this record. So I've not opened it. I've had it for about 2 or 3 weeks. It's called Tim Armstrong, A Poet's Life. So Tim, like I said, is the guitarist in Rancid. And I remember this came out, so they did a record store day release back in, I think it was 2017. And I was really wanting this. So it was a white pressing vinyl. And I went to my local record store in Omaha and they did not have it. They only had 1 copy and it sold out before I got there. So I'd kind of been chasing this one. And on Facebook, so I belong to a couple vinyl groups, and someone had posted a link to this. So this is on limited edition colored vinyl. I'm gonna open it up here because I'm kind of excited. And I think it's supposed to be white vinyl with like a black splatter. And usually splatter records are really cool looking. So I don't know what it's gonna look like, but I'm gonna know here in a second. And let me cut into this. So let's see how cool this thing is. I can get to it. It's like opening up a gift at Christmas. Black and white splatter. Let's see how gorgeous this is. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Look at that. Oh yeah, I'm digging it. I am digging that. I love these little cool colored variants of vinyl. I'm gonna have to spin this one tonight. So yeah, Tim Armstrong, A Poet's Life. Excited to give it a spin on the old turntable. And Tim is cool. He's just a diehard punk rocker through and through. Like I said, I've seen him on stage several times. He's a very, very entertaining guy. So is Lars, the other lead singer in Rancid. But so this one, I'll just kind of rattle off in case you're curious. Wake Up, Hold On, Into Action, Translator, Take This City. That's the songs on side A. Side B is Inner City Violence, Oh No, Lady Demeter, Among the Dead, and Cold Blooded. And there you have it. Oh, look at me adding some punk rock records to my collection. You know, I got a kind of a varied, collection of music. And I have a couple Rancid records, obviously the one I just talked about. And then I have another cool one, which someday I'll probably talk about. And then I just got this Tim Armstrong, A Poet's Life, on the cool black and white splatter vinyl. So I'm excited for that. So yes, I don't know what I'll talk about in the next video podcast, whatever you call these things. But my blood sugar is 105. I'm gonna have a little, have you tried these things? The lemon drops, clays, candies. So these are old school candy. It says now you can enjoy the old fashioned natural lemon flavor and a delicious hard candy. Try some today. And this is naturally flavored from California lemons. If you know it's naturally flavored from California lemons. Good stuff. So, I gotta hit the gym, get my cataracts removed, have a car coming, be driving a new whip here in a couple weeks. Kind of excited for that. Yeah, some changes coming up. Warmer weather, still loving music. Diabetes is good, health's good, exercise is good. I'm writing my second book, and that's kind of coming along, kind of happy with it. But it's been 2 or 3, maybe 4 weeks since I did my last video. So I just thought I'd sit down, talk about some old school punk rock, some of my concert experiences, some of my memories. And if you've made it this long, then I want to thank you, as always. Like, subscribe, comment. I promise I will respond. And I hope you're doing well. Let's continue to make this year the best. I think it's going to be exciting. Anyway, take care. We'll see you.